Is it possible that Elon Musk and NASA have finally defied the law of physics with their latest development? Perhaps they have, because NASA is on the verge of creating a near-light speed engine that defies physics laws, a concept for an engine that can accelerate to 99% the speed of light without using any fuel. That might sound like something out of a science fiction film, but it is not. One of NASA's engineers is working on something similar, and it has the potential to defy physics. So don't forget to watch today's video to the very end as we show how Elon Musk and NASA finally revealed the new Light Speed Engine 2022. The common goal. Elon Musk and NASA have one thing in widespread. The billionaire and the long-lasting house company need to take folks to locations in deep house. Whereas the two have totally different causes for the need. They each face the identical limitation of distance, which makes it difficult to construct successful spacecraft. To beat this limitation of getting sufficient gasoline for house journey, NASA and Musk's firm, SpaceX, have revealed revolutionary technique of propulsion that retains rockets going endlessly and ever into deep house. What is this propulsion? How does it work? And the way does it have an effect on you? Continue watching to the very end to discover how NASA and SpaceX have lastly revealed the close-to-speed light engine. In case you are a sci-fi fan, you'd have seen House motion pictures, the place the rocket retains going and going. Whereas a lot of the movie is targeted on the conflicts between the characters, nothing is often stated about how the rocket is powered. However, of course, that is the artistic freedom filmmakers take pleasure, and that enables them to make hit motion pictures that entertain us. Nonetheless, folks that really ship rockets to house will inform you it isn't all the time a mattress of roses on the market. One sci-fi fan is Musk, the CEO of house exploration firm SpaceX. The billionaire has the uncommon privilege of dwelling out his space desires, not like the remainder of us. That is why you will notice phrases lifted from sci-fi in a number of the actual life merchandise that he builds. One instance is the Mechazilla that he says will seize rocket boosters mid-air. Nonetheless audacious the scheme is, even Musk himself admitted it may fail spectacularly. The illustrious inventor truly derived the identify from the Mechagodzilla, a personality from the favorite Godzilla movie franchise. Musk, too, needs to cruise folks through space, a purpose he shares with NASA. Different motivations. Nonetheless, the motivations for the two are totally different. Musk intends to organize humanity to escape doable catastrophic galactic accidents that would wipe out humanity fully from the Earth. Whilst you may cringe on the risk and would reasonably not think about it, Musk is a sensible man and needs to protect as a lot slice of humanity as doable in the face of such disasters. That is why Musk needs to arrange a human outpost on different crops. The motivation is robust sufficient that Musk is constructing what will be the most highly effective rocket in historical past when it's prepared. Musk plans to move a minimum of 1 million folks from Earth to planet Mars inside a short while in order that the group can develop into self-sustaining. Far eliminated from Earth, the brand new colony won't be affected by any catastrophe those who refuse to go away will face. NASA needs it too. NASA needs to ship folks to Mars, too, though on a much smaller scale. The company plans to ship its astronauts to the Purple Planet ultimately. Totally different probes have explored the planet, increasing our information of the planet with high-resolution footage of numerous landscapes on Mars. NASA's rovers have been joined by an identical explorer by China and may welcome Saudi Arabia's effort too. Nonetheless, nothing beats having boots on the bottom, as NASA has executed on the Moon. In reality, NASA is working with SpaceX to renew common missions to the Moon and construct bases there. Curiously, NASA has admitted the missions to the Moon will likely be a costume rehearsal for missions to Mars. The company will take any classes realized on the Moon and apply them to Mars. The objective is to hopefully discover the objective and origin of life, beginning with making an attempt to decide if there is life on Mars. Each NASA and SpaceX are banking on the Starship to take their people to Mars, with what is primarily a trial run taking place when NASA makes use of the Starship to put its astronauts on the Moon. Nonetheless, the two entities have their eyes set on different planets and planetary hour bodies, which might be past Mars. NASA needs to ship missions to Jupiter and its moons. Nonetheless, one drawback each NASA and SpaceX have to resolve is distance. Wherever you'll be in space, the distance is much. The universe exists on such a big scale that shifting from one planet to a different entails thousands and thousands of miles. For instance, the journey to Mars that Musk is planning can take as much as 6 months when it takes benefit of one of the best launch window. Higher nonetheless, the closest star to Earth is Proxima Centauri. It is about 4.25 light-years away, or about 25 trillion miles, or 40 trillion kilometers. The quickest ever spacecraft, the now in-house Parker photovoltaic probe, will attain a prime velocity of 450,000 mph. It could take simply 20 seconds to go from Los Angeles to New York metropolis at that velocity. However, it might take the photovoltaic probe about 6,633 years to succeed in Earth's nearest neighboring photovoltaic system. Engine that breaks laws of physics. When it comes to space, we have a problem with our human need to travel everywhere and observe everything. This is a major issue. It is, after all, space. It's far too large. Even if we travel at the greatest speed permitted by the universe, it would take us years to reach our nearest neighboring star. Another human urge is to discover answers to large challenges. In his leisure time, NASA engineer David Burns has been doing just that. He's developed an engine idea that he claims can accelerate to 99% of the speed of light, all without the need for propellant, the helical engine. He's uploaded it to NASA's technical report server under the title Helical Engine, and it works on paper by taking advantage of how mass may change at relativistic speeds, those near the speed of light in a vacuum. It has not yet been reviewed by a professional. Understandably, this topic may spark interest comparable to that witnessed in the early days of the EM drive. Yes, there have been some stories suggesting that the engine was first introduced by Roger Scheuer, a British chartered electrical engineer with 48 years' experience in the space and defense industries. In 2001, EM drive is a radio frequency resonant cavity thruster idea with possible uses as a spaceship thruster. It is claimed to create thrust by internally reflecting microwaves in violation of the law of conservation of momentum and other physical principles. The media has frequently referred to the gadget as the impossible drive. Break the rules of physics. For a bit of context, it's important to know that the aforementioned EM drive was NASA's first foray into the idea of actually trying to build an engine capable of faster-than-light travel. So what exactly is EM drive all about? What really is the EM drive? Explanations for how the EM drive could function go beyond the limits of known physics. Perhaps it's interacting with space quantum times vacuum energy, despite the fact that space quantum times vacuum energy doesn't enable anything to push off of it. Perhaps our notion of momentum has been shattered. Perhaps it's brand new physics, as announced by the EM drive tests. There is no official design for this device, and neither of the persons who claim to have developed it has committed to explaining how it may function as a thruster or what elements constitute it, making it impossible to determine whether a particular object is an example of such a device. NASA's Advanced Propulsion Physics Laboratory reported observing a small apparent thrust from one such test in 2016, a result that has not since been replicated. Subsequent studies have indicated that the thrust observed was a measurement error caused by interactions with the Earth's magnetic field or thermal gradients. In March of 2021, scientists from the Technical University of Dresden published 3 papers explaining that it was a total fluke. The thrust was explained by outside forces. As for the helical engine, while it is intriguing, it is unlikely to defy the laws of physics anytime soon, despite the claims. Although it has been met with skepticism from some quarters, Burns believes his concept is worth pursuing. "I'm comfortable with throwing it out there," he says. "If someone says it doesn't work, I'll be the first to say it was worth a shot," he says. How did he say it's going to work? How it works. Well, Burns depicts a box with a weight inside, strung on a line, and spring at either end, bouncing the weight back and forth as a thought experiment to demonstrate his notion. In a vacuum, such as space, this would jiggle the entire box, with the weight appearing to remain motionless, much like a GIF stabilized around the weight. Overall, the box would continue to wiggle in the same location. However, if the weight's mass increased in only one direction, it would create a stronger push in that direction, hence thrust. With that, we come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Lastly, join in the next time for more of such interesting content.